It's time to stop. No, this is not okay. It's time to stop. It's time to stop.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop. It's time to stop! 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 Please, for the love of all that is holy and merciful, furries, it's time to stop! It's time to stop. 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 The fuck is wrong with humanity? The fuck, nigga?
Oh shit! A rat! A fucking rat! Get out of here, you rat! Go! Get out of here! Go home! Go back to where you came from! I rebuke you in the name of Jesus! Go! Shoot! Motherfucker!
I'd like to take some time to tell you how disgusting rat kings are. Remember, kids, crossways for attention, long ways for results. Kill yourself, rat kings. Ah!
Rat King is the colloquial term for an online circle that works as social rights advocates while using their influence for personal gain. In folklore, a rat king is a nest of rats who become bound together with excrement, blood, hair, or knotted by own tails. An online rat king will be made up of a handful of members, usually ones with Twitter and Patreon accounts and thousands of young followers. The members of the rat king will follow each other and vouch for one another's projects, helping spread the word and generates donations usually on promise alone with no finished product. If one of the members of the rat king becomes upset at something, they will incite their followers to create an outrage that can intimidate and silence opposition through numbers and size alone. Types of rat kings. Professional victim. Professional victims are the ideal situation for any faux advocate. They are paid for speaking engagements, receive thousands of dollars on Patreon a month for their mere existence, and can use outrage about their profiteering to further their cause. Anita Sarkeesian, a woman who took hundreds of thousands of dollars to produce a video series on feminism, a series that she didn't even bother finishing and is now years past the due date. Despite their many flaws, these videos are now being sold to teachers. Brianna Wu was wedged into infamy by appearing on an afternoon talk show to complain about Gamergate and 8chan. Zoe Quinn cheated on her boyfriend with a minimum of 5 other men including her married boss and slept her way into critical acclaim with her text-based twine game Depression Quest. She since receives thousands of dollars a month for producing nothing. Randy Lee Harper, affectionately nicknamed Meth Whale, has an almost criminal history stretching back to the early 2000s. Her original online alias was FreeBSD Girl, despite only changing grammatical issues in the FreeBSD source code. She dropped the nickname after deciding FreeBSD was sexist. Transgender. Transgender rights is a very contentious issue with many passionate young people who are easily taken advantage of. Rat King members of the transgender movement are often people of interest who use their influence to hide one another's internet drama while profiteering off their users. Wesley Lorelei James Earl Bailey works under the guise of social justice advocate and sex worker rights advocate. Lorelei's sordid history includes everything from sexual assault to pretending to be a hacker and snitching hacker friends to the FBI. Eric Nico Arcanish Fager, former administrator of Cow who closed his iteration of the site after users criticized another transgender person, runs unpopular transgender support websites, and works as a cam whore. The Lesser Rat King. Another branch, so to speak, that is related tangentially to the trans rights rat king of Lorelei Bailey and to Sarah Nyberg is a group colloquially referred by two names. One, the Lesser Rat King, or two, the Norasphere. The second name comes from the fact that this part of the Rat King was uncovered due to their association with and status as personal friends and attack dogs for Nora Reid. Nora Reid is a Twitter user that is notorious for harassing various targets for months, claiming victim status, and identifying as non-binary. Them and a handful of friends are known for ranting constantly about many topics, most notably Gamergate, Shanley Kane, Tankies, the Kiwi Farms, Randy Harper, and Minecraft developer Marcus Notch Person. Magic Nanas born Mark Boyd and also going by Jennifer Boyd is a close associate of Nora Reid's, and was the originator of the Norasphere's attacks against Notch. Timothy Craig, also known as Aguiono or Azure, is another close friend to Nora Reid, and he is the subject of multiple sexual harassment accusations that his friends brush off uncharacteristically. David Gallant, a failed video game developer and anti-Gamergator who was discovered in one of Nora Reid's tweets. Kotaku in Actions subreddit regularly covers him, and he was the subject of a video by YouTube personality Saga Novakad. Jake Alley is a former member of Zoe Quinn's Crash Override network, who was kicked out of the organization after what he claims to have been a misunderstanding after whisper campaigns were started that ruined his reputation with the rest of Quinn's associates. Nora Reid has vouched for him. Alex Leal is a college student from Washington State that stood up for Nora Reid after her harassment of Candace Owens and Randy Harper. Alex identifies as Otherkin, and has sworn to take down the Kiwi Farms. Pedophile. A rat king connected around pedophile rights has appeared with Nicholas Nyberg. This particularly vicious rat king has even attacked members of an anti-sex trafficking non-profit organization. Nicholas Seren Nyberg, a pedophile who used his administrator's position in a Final Fantasy fan forum to seduce girls. Nyberg spent years openly declaring himself to be a pedophile, discussing pedophile rights, and, disturbingly, would describe his attraction to his 8-year-old cousin. Later recounted everything as being edgy. Allison Rapp, a Nintendo PR employee who came out in defense of Nyberg, has advocated for the legalization of child pornography and has complained about pedophiles being convicted for possession of it. Izzy Galvez, an anti-Gamergator and Nyberg White Knight who commonly archives his thread, advocates for legal action against Kiwi Farms, including complaining to Cloudflare, a DDoS protection service backing Kiwi Farms, and talks to many social justice oriented people. Margaret Plass, a friend of Galvez and an amateur journalist who had an account on the Sonichu.com website. She was also a common link between other members of the social justice community, especially on YouTube. Her claim to infamy was doxing Mike Cernovich and attempting to swat him. Opportunists and con artists. There are some rat kings who either engage in deception or ass kissing to get what they want. Devi Eva, a non-binary FTM scam artist who claimed Gamergate endangered her safety through a prank. Her fights with other Rat King members including Rani Baker and Lorelei Bailey were documented. Later, she changed her views to support Gamergate movements, and received criticism for her decision to continually flip-flop on the subject. 4. Greta Martela, the owner of Trans Lifeline, who paid a visit to Joshua Moon's house and has worked with other lolcows like Kenneth Irwin Engelhart and Tommy Tutor to take down Kiwi Farms. Their scam hotline was documented to answer little to none of the calls received on Fridays. Kenneth Irwin Engelhart, also known as Kengel, is a Christian Western Chandler stalker who continually tries to befriend lolcows in his efforts to create a personal army against Joshua Moon. Benjamin Srijuankiwa, also known as Winter Fox and Requires Hate, is a science fiction fantasy author that has embedded herself in social justice circles and claims to be the victim of online harassment after being outed as a particularly vicious internet troll. Common triggers. Many members of the Rat King belong to a group of outcasts in the trans community, and although trans exclusionary radical feminists TERFs like Kathy Brennan have threads on Kiwi Farms, using information about Rat Kings from their websites usually creates an effect where the Rat King feels distressed. Kathy Brennan is a common enemy among those members and lolcows like Ahivia Harrell. These are ways that usually cause tension among this group, leading to maximum chimp out potential. Dead naming websites and doxing. NameTheProblem.com and Gender Identity Watch are turf-run websites which keep a backlog of people of interest and their personal information. In some cases, these websites have their docs prior to Kiwi Farms members discovering them. Dave McDonald and Ryan Fortney are prominent examples of Rat King members who caught the ire of Kathy Brennan and were exposed on her websites. Rani Baker was also aware of Kiwi Farms members using these sites to discover information about people in their circles. Having a dead name and docs directly in a thread makes it visible to the subject, and depending on the response, they will lock their social media, chimp out, or not directly respond. Dead naming holds significance to trans Rat King members because they want to maintain whatever credibility they hold in their community. Meredith Ramirez de Luzon, a writer for FusionNet, wrote, "The person who does it usually sees no harm in using a name that's been associated with us, but does it while also trying to discredit or shame us, or imply that we will never be our true gender. And every time this happens, painful associations continue to accrue and be associated with names that most trans people already feel alienated from to begin with. Because it reminds us of a time in our lives when we didn't feel as though we were living as our true selves." 5. E-begging sites. Most Rat Kings are into e-begging through GoFundMe, Patreon and others, and Rat Kings are also prone to deleting those accounts once they discover their threads. Mark Boyd, a Nora Reed Aspater, boasts about being given $30 a month from his Patreon. Richard Jones flaunts his donation schemes whenever he announces his suicide attempts. Common links. Many different Rat Kings exist, and the key to finding the link between the members is to see who they are associated with. In the past, people made Excel sheets showing which Twitter accounts these members were following. One of the accounts was the Trans Atheist Podcast, which Richard Jones and Lorelei Bailey both followed. Misgendering. Since a lot of the Rat Kings are going through male to female transition or identify as non-binary, using the wrong pronouns tends to factor into their tendency to flip out. They take offense to individuals using he or using these pronouns at all to describe them. Misgendering holds similar consequences as using a dead name.
After seeing this video, if you're a Rat King, please go get in your parents' treats and blanket. Drink it. Seriously. Remember, crossways for attention, long ways for results. End it all. And oh my God, won't it feel good to end it all? End your suffering on this earth. Kill yourself. It's not easy to do, but it takes a lot of guts if you're you. You're so pathetic. So pathetic, it makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. What the fuck are you doing here? You make no sense at all. Remember, crossways for attention, long ways for results. Kill yourself. Kill yourself. That's why I'm on the toilet taking a Rat King dump. Because that's where they belong, in the sewers, motherfucker. Because you're a human sewer.